Tonight let us journey back in time, not with a machine but with our minds. Our destination, ancient Mesopotamia, where the first chapters of our human story began. Imagine a land of warm sun, winding rivers and mud-brick cities under starry desert skies. Here, people learn to build, to write and to dream in new ways. We'll explore the beginnings of civilization, a world both distant and familiar. Picture a time thousands of years ago when the world was wild and vast. Between two great rivers, people built the foundations of our world. They looked up at the same moon and stars we see tonight. They sought safety, community, and meaning. Their journey is a quiet, powerful thread in human history. So close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let us begin our peaceful exploration. We'll walk along ancient riverbanks, see the first seeds of farming, and witness the birth of cities. Listen for the whispers of the first written words scratched into clay tablets. This is more than history, it's a lullaby from the dawn of time. Let the sounds of the ancient world fill your imagination. Settle in as we start our journey into the heart of Mesopotamia. The land that changed everything awaits. Let the story carry you into a deep and tranquil sleep. Our story begins with the land itself, Mesopotamia, the land between the rivers. The Tigris and Euphrates flowed from northern mountains to the Persian Gulf, shaping a world of contrasts. In the north, rolling hills and rain; in the south, sun-baked desert. The rivers were the heart of this land, powerful, unpredictable, and life-giving. Each spring, melting snow sent floods rushing down, spreading water and rich soil. The annual flood was both a gift and a challenge. People learned to live with the rhythm of these mighty rivers. Along the riverbanks, a ribbon of green flourished, reeds, birds, and life. The rivers provided fish, fresh water, and a way to travel and trade. This land was challenging, but it held great promise in its fertile soil. With hard work and clever ideas, people could thrive. The rivers were the lifeblood, and the land was the canvas. Here, the stage was set for the incredible story of civilization. Imagine the wide sky, the bright sun, and the promise of new beginnings. Mesopotamia was a special place on Earth. It was a crossroads of challenge and opportunity. The rivers shaped not just the land, but the destiny of its people. In this unique place, the seeds of civilization took root. The journey of humanity truly began here. For ages, people here were nomads, moving in search of food and water. But a great change began. People noticed seeds grew into new plants. They learned to plant and harvest, marking the birth of farming. The people of Mesopotamia learned to work with the rivers, not just rely on floods. They dug channels to carry water to their fields. Irrigation was born. This simple idea changed everything. Now they could grow food even in dry summers and stay in one place. Mud from the riverbanks became bricks for sturdy homes. Villages formed, neighbors gathered, and communities grew. Life centered around the seasons of farming: wheat, barley, dates, and vegetables. Wild sheep and goats became gentle herds, providing milk, wool, and meat. Life was still hard, but more secure. Reliable food meant larger families and growing villages. People were no longer just surviving, they were building a new world. The river's gift was stability, and with it, the first spark of civilization. Farming allowed people to dream beyond the next meal. The first villages became the foundation for something greater. The journey from wandering to home had begun. In Mesopotamia, humanity's roots grew deep. The world was changing, one harvest at a time. As villages grew, they transformed into the world's first cities. Imagine Ur or Uruk rising from the plains 6,000 years ago. These were bustling centers, surrounded by protective mud-brick walls. Inside, life was organized: streets, houses, workshops, and grand public buildings. At each city's heart stood a ziggurat, a towering temple to the gods. Priests cared for the temple, performing rituals and storing grain. Not everyone was a farmer. Artisans, weavers, metalworkers, and merchants thrived. Trade brought wood, stone, and precious metals from afar. Specialization made the city dynamic and prosperous. Cities needed leaders, priest-kings managed irrigation, settled disputes, and led armies. The rise of cities marked the beginning of government and social classes. People now shared an identity tied to a place, not just a family. The city was a new way for humans to live, complex, organized, and full of possibility. Life in the city was diverse and vibrant. The first cities were the engines of progress. Here, the blueprint for civilization was drawn. The world was forever changed by these early urban centers. The story of humanity entered a new chapter. As cities grew, life became more complex. Priests, merchants, and rulers needed to keep records. Memory was no longer enough. Out of this need, writing was born. The Sumerians developed cuneiform, a system of wedge-shaped marks pressed into clay tablets. These tablets have survived for thousands of years, revealing trade, laws, stories, and letters. Writing allowed knowledge to be passed down, history to be recorded, and ideas to be shared. With writing came another powerful idea: written laws. King Hammurabi of Babylon created one of the earliest law codes carved into stone for all to see. The laws covered daily life, business, and justice, an eye for an eye. Written laws meant justice was no longer arbitrary, they applied to everyone. Writing and law became the cornerstones of civilization. They brought order, fairness, and continuity. These Mesopotamian innovations shaped the world. The ability to write and the rule of law are gifts we still rely on today. Civilization found its voice in clay and stone. Mesopotamia's story is one of great kings and powerful empires. City-states fought for control until Sargon of Akkad united them, creating a vast kingdom. Later, Babylon rose under Hammurabi, and the fierce Assyrians built an even larger empire. The people worshipped many gods, believing deities controlled every aspect of life. Each city had its own patron god, honored in grand temples. Keeping the gods happy was essential. Prayers, rituals, and offerings filled daily life. From this world came the first great work of literature, the Epic of Gilgamesh. It tells of Gilgamesh, a powerful king, and his friend Enkidu. Together they embark on adventures, but tragedy strikes when Enkidu dies. Gilgamesh, faced with mortality, seeks the secret of eternal life. His quest fails, but he returns wiser and more compassionate. He learns that true legacy lies in good deeds and lasting creations. The Epic of Gilgamesh is a timeless story of friendship, loss, and the search for meaning. It reminds us that even ancient kings grappled with the same questions we do. Through myth and legend, Mesopotamia's spirit endures. Their stories echo through the ages. Mesopotamia is called the cradle of civilization for good reason. Here, humanity took its first steps into a complex, organized way of life. The Mesopotamians were the first astronomers, mapping stars and creating calendars. They divided the hour into 60 minutes, the minute into 60 seconds, a system we still use. They invented the wheel, first for pottery, then for transport, transforming trade and agriculture. Their mathematics and engineering built ziggurats and canal systems. They developed concepts in algebra and geometry, metallurgy, organized governments, and written stories all began here. Their innovations became a blueprint for civilization. Other cultures copied and built upon their achievements. Mesopotamia was the starting point for so much of our world. The essential building blocks of society were first put in place here. Their legacy is woven into our daily lives. The seeds they planted continue to grow. The world as we know it began between these rivers. Like all great civilizations, Mesopotamia's world eventually faded. Years of irrigation caused salt to build up, making the land less fertile. Crops failed, and the great cities struggled. The region was a crossroads, constantly invaded and fought over. The Persians conquered Babylon, ending Mesopotamia's independence. New rulers brought new languages and religions. The old gods were forgotten, ziggurats crumbled, and cuneiform was lost. The great cities emptied, buried by the sands of time. Mesopotamia became a land of myth and legend, its real history forgotten. The cradle of civilization fell silent, waiting to be rediscovered. For centuries, Mesopotamia's secrets lay buried. In the 19th century, archaeologists uncovered the lost cities, Ur, Babylon, Nineveh. They found palaces, temples, and most importantly, clay tablets. Deciphering cuneiform unlocked a lost library. Laws, stories, and daily life returned to light. The Epic of Gilgamesh was rediscovered, its story as powerful as ever. Mesopotamia's legacy is all around us, our timekeeping, legal systems, and city life. Even ancient myths echo in our stories today. As you drift to sleep, remember this ancient land and its people. Their world may have vanished, but their ideas live on. The story of Mesopotamia is the story of a beginning. Our complex world rests on the dreams of those who came before. In the land between two rivers, civilization was born.